My beloved child, there is a reason you are here right now listening to these words. It is not an accident. It is not coincidence. It is a divine appointment. Archangel Michael is reaching out to you in this very moment with an urgency that cannot be ignored. The air around you may feel heavier than usual, as if unseen eyes are upon you. That is because heaven itself is leaning closer, breaking the silence between worlds, so that you may hear this message before it's too late. Michael is not whispering softly this time. He is calling loudly, desperately. Because there is a shift happening in your life right now, one that will either open the door to incredible transformation or drag you into shadows you were never meant to walk through. This is why he comes now, with power and with urgency. Pause for a moment and notice the stillness around you. Do you feel that sudden tingling across your skin? That sharp awareness in your spirit? That is his presence brushing against you, letting you know you are not alone. You may have been feeling lost, uncertain, even surrounded by invisible battles you couldn't fully explain. But Archangel Michael has been watching. He has seen the unseen hands that tried to pull you back. He has witnessed the thoughts of doubt that tried to crush your hope. And he has felt your silent prayers, the ones you whispered at night when no one else was listening. Now he answers. My beloved child, Michael is saying to you, do not be afraid, for I stand beside you, holding the sword of truth, cutting away every chain that has bound you. These are not ordinary times. This moment right now is an emergency call from heaven. The next steps you take, the choices you make, will set the path of your future in a direction that cannot be reversed. That is why Michael insists you hear him now. He is showing you signs all around, numbers that repeat, sudden dreams that feel more real than waking life, the feeling that someone is guiding your footsteps, even when you can't see them. These are not random. These are confirmations. Your soul is standing at the threshold of change, and the universe is shouting through Michael's voice. Wake up before it is too late. Close your eyes for just a moment and breathe in deeply. Imagine a great light surrounding you, piercing through the darkness, burning away the fear that has clouded your heart. That is his shield wrapping around you. That is the evidence that heaven is closer than ever. Something is coming. An event, a shift, a moment that will either bless you or break you depending on whether you respond to this call. And Michael's message is clear. Do not delay, do not ignore, for time is running short. This is why you feel that heaviness in your spirit, that urgency pressing inside your chest. It is the alarm bell of heaven ringing just for you, because you are chosen. Not everyone is hearing this right now. Not everyone was led to this moment, but you were. That alone should tell you how important this message is. Michael is not only warning you, he is preparing you for protection, for guidance, for a turning point that could alter the entire direction of your destiny. And if you allow this message to sink into your soul, if you listen with the fullness of your heart, you will discover that this moment is not one of fear, but of awakening. Because when Michael speaks, miracles follow. When Michael steps in, chains are broken, and when Michael calls you his beloved child, it means heaven itself has already declared victory over the battles you are facing. The only thing left is for you to respond, right now, before it's too late. The message does not end here. What you just heard was the call, but now comes the revelation. Archangel Michael is not simply reaching out to comfort you, he is warning you. There is something moving in the unseen realms, something that has been trying to interfere with your path, cloud your vision and drain your spirit. And for too long, you may have felt the weight of it without understanding what it was. Think back. How many nights have you struggled to fall asleep because your mind would not stop racing? How many times have you felt a heavy presence around you, as if shadows were pressing against your peace? How many moments did you doubt yourself, when everything inside you wanted to believe, but fear whispered louder? These were not accidents, these were attacks, silent ones, invisible ones, that tried to steal what was meant to be yours. And now, Michael steps forward, raising his sword of light to cut away these dark threads that have been wrapped around your soul. He says to you, Beloved, do not surrender to fear, for every shadow you have faced has already been marked for destruction by the fire of heaven. But here is the truth. He cannot force you to listen. He cannot push you to respond. The choice must be yours. Heaven always waits for your yes. That is why this moment feels so urgent, because your yes, your agreement, is the door that allows Michael to move fully in your life. Without it, the battles continue. With it, they end. Pause now and feel your heartbeat. Notice how your spirit is leaning forward, straining to grasp every word. That is your soul recognizing truth. And the truth is this: you are standing on the edge of breakthrough. There is a blessing that has been waiting, hovering just beyond the veil. But something has been blocking it. An energy, a resistance, a fear that was never yours to carry. Michael comes to tear it down, but he needs your response. My beloved child, he whispers again, time is short. Open your heart before the moment passes you by. You may think you have tomorrow. You may believe you can wait until later. But understand this, the spiritual realm does not move on your schedule. When heaven opens a window, you must walk through it, because once it closes, the opportunity may not return. This is why Michael's message is so desperate. He has seen the traps laid out ahead of you. He knows the dangers that lurk in silence. He knows what the enemy has planned. And yet, he also sees the victory waiting for you if you respond in time. Imagine for a moment that you are standing at a great crossroad. One path looks familiar, safe, ordinary, predictable, but the other glows with a light you cannot explain, a light that feels both terrifying and beautiful at the same time. That is the path Michael is pointing to, the one that leads to your divine destiny. But it requires courage, it requires faith, and it requires that you trust his voice more than the doubts echoing in your mind. Do not underestimate this. How many times in your life have you ignored a whisper of intuition only to regret it later? How many times did you push aside a sign only to realize too late that it was meant to guide you? This is one of those moments. But unlike before, this one is greater. This one is heavier. This one is not just about a choice, it is about your destiny. Michael is standing beside you right now, shield in hand, declaring, I will protect you, I will defend you, but you must step forward into the light with me. Heaven is not asking for perfection. It is asking for willingness. Even the smallest yes can move mountains in the spiritual realm. Even the quietest prayer can summon armies of angels. And when Michael hears your yes, he rushes in like a flood, scattering every force that tried to silence you. So listen carefully. The urgency you feel in your chest right now is not fear. It is alignment. It is your spirit aligning with heaven's call. And the more you open yourself to this moment, the stronger that alignment becomes. My beloved child, Michael says, do not harden your heart. Do not walk away. For I am closer than your own breath, and I carry the answers you have been searching for. You have asked for signs. You have prayed for clarity. You have begged for proof that heaven hears you. And this right here is your answer. The emergency you feel is not to harm you. It is to awaken you. Because when the spirit world knocks on your door, it is not just a gentle visit. It is a rescue mission. Michael comes when the stakes are high. He comes when your future hangs in the balance. He comes when time itself is pressing forward and your decision must be made. And right now, that time is now. Do you feel the weight of those words? This is not to scare you. It is to remind you that your life is more valuable than you realize, that your soul is more precious than the doubts that tried to bury it, that your destiny is worth fighting for. And heaven has already chosen you. The only question left is, will you choose heaven back? Take this seriously. You are not here by accident. These words are not just filling the air. They are wrapping around your spirit like a shield, like a fire, like a command from the highest throne. Michael is not asking you. He is pleading with you, because he knows what happens if you delay, and he knows the miracle waiting if you say yes. This is why the urgency feels like a fire in your soul right now, because heaven cannot wait, and neither should you. There is something you need to understand right now. When Archangel Michael speaks, he does not always use words. He often speaks through signs, through symbols, through the small moments that others overlook. And if you have been experiencing these signs lately, it is not your imagination, it is his hand guiding you. Think carefully. Have you been noticing the same numbers over and over again? Numbers like 111, 333, 444, or even 911 flashing across clocks, receipts, or phone screens. These are not random. Each one carries a divine code. When you see repeating numbers, Michael is opening a window in time, showing you that heaven is synchronizing with your life. 111 means new beginnings. The door is open, but you must walk through. 333 is the Trinity, the power of heaven aligning with you. 444 is protection, Michael himself standing as a guardian at your side. And 911, it is the emergency call. It is the urgent cry that heaven is near, and you must respond without delay. Have you seen these? If so, then Michael has already been speaking. But maybe numbers are not the only signs you've noticed. Maybe feathers have appeared on your path, white feathers that show up when no birds were around. Maybe coins appeared at your feet, shimmering in the dust, carrying a reminder that you are not forgotten. Maybe sudden chills ran across your body, even in a warm room, signaling that a presence of light was near. These are his whispers. These are the threads of heaven woven into your daily life. Do not dismiss them, because the truth is, the spiritual realm is louder than you think. It is just that most people have forgotten how to listen. Michael does not want you to miss it. He is saying to you, "Beloved, I have been showing you the way, but your eyes must open wider, your heart must lean in closer, for the time of awakening is here." Think back to your dreams. Has there been a dream that felt so real it lingered even after you woke up? Perhaps a vision of light breaking through darkness. Perhaps a battle you were fighting, yet somehow you won. Perhaps a voice calling your name, pulling you out of fear into safety. Those were not ordinary dreams. They were messages, because the dream world is one of heaven's favorite channels. It is where your soul is quiet enough to listen. And Michael uses that silence to plant seeds of guidance inside you. Right now, pause for a moment and reflect. What dream has stayed with you lately? What vision refuses to fade? That may be Michael's way of preparing you for what is to come. And it is no small thing, because the spiritual war around you is real. You may not see it with your eyes, but you have felt it with your spirit, the pressure, the confusion, the sudden obstacles that come out of nowhere. These are not coincidences. They are evidence that forces are trying to stop you before your breakthrough. But here is the good news. Michael has already drawn his sword, and every sign he sends you is not just a message, it is a shield. Each feather, each number, each dream, each sudden feeling of warmth or peace, it is heaven reminding you that you are not fighting alone. The emergency is real, but so is the protection. The danger is near, but so is the deliverance. All that is needed is your awareness, your attention, your willingness to see what has been right in front of you. My beloved child, Michael says again, I have placed the signs in your path. Do not walk past them. Do not ignore them, for they are the lifelines pulling you into your destiny. Now listen carefully, because the signs are not random, they are timed. Each one comes exactly when you need it. Think of the time you were about to give up, but then a small miracle happened. Maybe a friend called with encouragement at the exact moment you were crying. Maybe you stumbled upon words that gave you strength when you felt weakest. Maybe this very message reached you right now when you needed it most. That is proof. Proof that Michael has been orchestrating these moments, weaving them into your life like threads of light, guiding you out of the storm. Do not take this lightly, because when heaven moves in such precision, it is not a game. It is a rescue mission, and you are the one being rescued. This is why urgency burns so strongly in this moment, because the more you open your eyes, the more you will see that heaven has been speaking all along. The numbers, the feathers, the coins, the dreams, the chills, the sudden peace, the bursts of clarity. They are all the voice of Michael reaching through the veil, and if you follow them, they will lead you out of confusion and into clarity, out of fear and into faith, out of danger and into destiny. But if you ignore them, the noise of the world will drown them out and the moment may pass forever. That is why he is pleading with you now. Look, listen, respond, before it is too late. This moment is not ordinary. It is sacred. It is charged with power. It is soaked in destiny. And right now Michael is standing closer than he ever has before, waiting for your spirit to recognize him. Do you feel it? The warmth in your chest, the fire rising in your soul. That is not imagination. That is the presence of heaven confirming every word you are hearing. And once you respond, once you say yes, nothing will ever be the same again. There are battles happening right now that your eyes cannot see, and yet your soul has felt them. Every time you sensed heaviness pressing against your heart for no reason, every time anxiety came out of nowhere, every time confusion clouded your thoughts, those were not just emotions. They were echoes of the war being fought around you. Because the truth is, you are more than flesh and blood. You are spirit. And as spirit, you live in the middle of a great conflict. Light against darkness, truth against deception, heaven against the forces that try to pull you away from your destiny. This war is not distant. It is not somewhere far away in the skies. It is happening right here, right now, around your very life. But here is the hope you must never forget. Michael, the great archangel, has already been sent to fight for you. He is not a distant figure in an ancient story. He is present, alive, and actively moving in your world this very moment. When shadows tried to invade your peace, he lifted his shield around you. When invisible arrows of fear were shot toward your mind, he struck them down before they reached you. When darkness tried to cover your path, he lit a fire in your spirit to remind you that you were never alone. So many times you thought you were surviving by your own strength, but in truth, Michael was standing behind you, unseen, holding back storms you never even knew were there. Pause and think for a moment. Remember the times you almost gave up, but somehow you didn't. Remember the accidents you narrowly avoided, the dangers that missed you by seconds. Remember the tears that eventually turned into strength even when you thought you couldn't go on. That was not luck. That was protection. That was Michael fighting battles in silence so that you could live another day. My beloved child, he says, do not think you are weak, for you are shielded by my presence, and no force of darkness has the power to destroy what heaven has declared over your life. The enemy has tried to break you, yes, through people who hurt you, through moments of betrayal that cut deeper than any knife, through fears that whispered in the dark when no one else could hear. But Michael was there. Even in your lowest moments, he stood guard. Even when you couldn't see the way forward, he cleared paths before you. Even when you thought your prayers went unanswered, he carried those prayers like fire into the throne of heaven. And now, he calls to you with urgency. Because the battle is reaching its peak. The forces that once worked quietly are now pressing harder, trying to steal your joy, your focus, your destiny. But Michael is not afraid. He has fought greater wars before the dawn of time itself, and he has never lost. Imagine for a moment the great wings of light wrapping around you. Imagine a sword blazing brighter than the sun, cutting through the shadows around your life. That is not just an image, it is reality. That is the unseen protection surrounding you right now. But here is the truth. While Michael fights for you, he also calls you to stand. Not in fear, but in awareness. Not in weakness, but in faith. Because your awareness becomes your shield, your faith becomes your weapon, and your yes to heaven becomes the doorway that allows Michael to finish the battles on your behalf. My beloved child, he says again, I will not let you fall, but you must not turn away now. For this is the moment everything begins to shift. You see, the danger of ignoring this message is not that you lose heaven's love, because heaven's love is eternal. The danger is that you miss the timing, that you walk past the doorway while it is open and it closes before you step through. This is why he is urgent. This is why his voice burns in your heart like fire, because the time is now, right now. And once you step into this awareness, once you respond to his call, you will begin to see evidence of his protection everywhere. The accidents that don't touch you, the peace that falls even in chaos, the clarity that returns when confusion tried to blind you, these are proofs that Michael is near, and each one will grow stronger the moment you respond. So do not doubt, do not hesitate, because you were not chosen for fear, you were chosen for victory. Michael has already seen the battles ahead, and he is prepared. The only thing he waits for is your heart's agreement. Will you let him fight fully for you? Will you trust the signs, the symbols, the urgent pull in your spirit? Because if you do, everything around you will begin to change. The chains will break, the fear will dissolve, the doors will open, and the destiny that has been waiting for you will finally unfold. Right now, heaven is calling, and Michael is standing beside you, waiting for your answer. There are moments when your heart feels heavy, when your spirit feels clouded, and you wonder if anyone truly hears your silent cries. In these moments, Archangel Michael wants you to know he is closer than your own breath. Pause for a moment and feel this truth. Right now, the very energy of the divine is wrapping around you, waiting for you to notice. He whispers gently, reminding you that what you face is not stronger than the light inside you. Even in your darkest hour, the flame of your soul cannot be extinguished. But here is the mystery most people overlook. This flame responds to your choice. When you believe you are powerless, the flame grows dim. When you call upon the angels, the flame rises with strength no darkness can overcome. Archangel Michael is urging you to recognize this very choice. Do not surrender your power to fear, to doubt, or to the shadows that try to steal your peace. Pause here and let your soul breathe. Imagine a wave of blue light moving through you, dissolving the heaviness, replacing it with courage. This is not imagination. It is a real spiritual force reaching you now. There is a reason you were guided to this message today. Archangel Michael is not here by chance. His presence surrounds you because your soul has been sending silent signals, asking for answers, asking for clarity. Sometimes you feel as though life is happening to you, not for you. But Archangel Michael reminds you that nothing enters your path without reason. Every obstacle, every delay, every unexpected turn is part of the divine puzzle of your destiny. Pause for a moment and reflect. How many times did you think something was the end, but later it became the beginning of something greater? The same pattern is unfolding now. Your current struggle is not here to destroy you, but to awaken a hidden strength within you that you have not yet touched. Archangel Michael is placing a shield of light before you. This shield is not only for protection, it is also a mirror. It reflects back to you the truth of who you are, a soul far stronger than the illusions of fear. When shadows whisper that you are weak, Michael's light answers, "You are chosen, you are guided, and you are never alone." Feel this now. Breathe deeply. Every breath you take invites his protection closer, as though invisible wings are spreading above you, casting away what does not belong to your soul. Even the chains you feel bound by, the memories, the regrets, the fears of the future, are not as strong as the sword of truth he carries into your life. But here is the key. You must allow yourself to release. Release the guilt. Release the what-ifs. Release the doubts that have become heavy stones tied to your heart. Archangel Michael cannot take from you what you keep holding on to, so pause. Imagine yourself handing these burdens into the hands of light. Feel the weight leaving your spirit, and notice the shift inside you, a quiet strength rising, a whisper of peace that tells you, the battle is already won if you trust the divine plan. You are being shown signs right now that you cannot afford to ignore. Perhaps you keep seeing repeating numbers like 1111, 222, or 444 at strange moments. These are not random patterns. They are coded messages from Archangel Michael, trying to break through the noise of your daily life. Every time you see them, it is like a knock on your soul's door, a reminder that something urgent needs your attention. Pause for a moment. Think back. Did you notice a feather on the ground when you were walking? Did a sudden chill run down your spine for no reason? Did a stranger say words to you that felt oddly personal, as if they were meant directly for your heart? These are whispers from the divine. Archangel Michael uses subtle touches of reality to awaken you. He does not always shout. Sometimes he comes quietly, wrapping his message in signs you might dismiss as coincidence. But there are no coincidences. Each one is a clue, a breadcrumb leading you back to alignment, back to safety, back to the truth of who you are. The question is, are you listening? Because ignoring these signs can cause them to become louder, more dramatic, more difficult to overlook. That is why things may suddenly feel heavy in your life, why conflicts are rising, why you feel drained for no clear reason. Michael is trying to shake you awake before it's too late. He is saying, "Wake up, beloved one. The clock is ticking. Your choices right now matter more than you realize. One small decision could shift everything. This is not meant to frighten you, but to remind you of the power you hold in your own hands. If you listen, if you open your heart and let Archangel Michael's guidance flow in, doors will open that you never even imagined could exist. The blessings are waiting. The protection is already around you. But you must take the step to claim it. There are times when your spirit feels heavy, as though unseen chains are weighing you down. These chains are not always physical. They are the invisible burdens of doubt, fear, and pain that others placed upon your path. My beloved child, Archangel Michael wants you to know this truth. These chains are not permanent. They are illusions meant to hold you back, but they have no power against the light that shines within you. Pause for a moment. Breathe deeply. Feel how even in silence a presence surrounds you, a presence of strength, love, and divine protection. This is Archangel Michael's shield wrapping around your soul. There is a reason you are hearing this message today. It is not by chance. Heaven does not work in randomness. It guides your steps. It brings you closer to your destiny. When the night feels darker than usual, when the weight of your struggles makes it hard to move forward. Remember this. Archangel Michael is never far. His sword of truth cuts through the veil of deception. His light pierces even the deepest shadows. This is why you have survived battles that once felt impossible. This is why you still rise each morning despite the storms that tried to break you. You are not walking alone. You never were. Even now, as you listen, his energy is flowing into your life. His voice whispers courage. His presence strengthens your heart. His wings push away the darkness trying to cling to you. The message is clear. Your breakthrough is closer than you realize. The chains are falling. The shadows are dissolving. And the path ahead of you is opening with divine clarity. But Archangel Michael is not only pointing toward the dangers outside of you, he's also pointing to the hidden battle within. There are times when you feel a strange heaviness, as if invisible chains are pulling you back whenever you are about to step into a breakthrough. Pause for a moment and ask yourself, how many times have you felt blocked right before an important opportunity arrived? This is no coincidence. Michael reveals that there are spiritual forces that try to bind your inner light, to make you doubt, to convince you that you are too weak or unworthy. But here is the truth. Those forces are nothing compared to the authority of God's power that flows through you. Michael is reminding you that every doubt, every fear, every hidden attack can be shattered with one command of divine light. The reason you are hearing this message today is because heaven knows you are stepping into a new season. You are not the same person you were before. You are awakening to your real strength. And this awakening is dangerous to those who thrive on your weakness. That is why the attacks have been increasing. That is why the pressure feels heavier. But Archangel Michael says, you are not alone. The moment you call for protection, the light of God surrounds you like a shield. Feel it now. Close your eyes for a second and imagine a blazing circle of blue fire rising around you, burning away every shadow that tries to touch your soul. This shield is not a dream. It is a real spiritual armor given to you because heaven has marked you for greater things. And each time you choose to trust this divine guidance, your shield grows stronger. So the next time you sense fear creeping in, pause and whisper, Michael, stand with me. Instantly, you will feel the shift. Instantly, you will know that the battle is already won. There are moments in your life when the silence feels heavier than words. Moments when you wonder if heaven has gone quiet. But listen closely, because silence is not absence. It is preparation. The unseen realm is never still. Even when you feel nothing, see nothing, or hear nothing, the forces of light are arranging everything for your next step. Breathe. Feel it. The struggles you are facing right now are not random. The delays, the losses, the unanswered questions, each one carries a hidden design. Think of the times in your past when everything seemed to collapse. Didn't something better rise from the ruins? Didn't you discover strength you never thought you had? That was not an accident. That was orchestration. The signs you are noticing around you, the repeating numbers, the sudden thoughts, the dreams that feel too real, are not coincidences. They are whispers from above. They are signals to remind you that you are not walking this path alone. And yet these signs are not just to comfort you. They are to awaken you. Because when you awaken, fear loses its grip. When you awaken, you stop asking, "Why me?" and start asking, "What is this teaching me?" The truth is, what you cannot see is far more powerful than what you can. The spiritual realm moves faster, stronger, and with greater accuracy than anything in the physical world. Every closed door is a redirection. Every delay is divine timing. Every hardship is a refining fire shaping you into who you are meant to be. Do not be afraid of what feels uncertain right now. Uncertainty is not punishment. It is the sacred space where faith is born. Trust that the pieces that look scattered today are already being aligned. What feels hidden will soon be revealed. What feels delayed will soon arrive right on time. And when it comes, you will see why it had to happen this way. You will understand that the pain was not to break you, but to prepare you. That the silence was not emptiness, but alignment. The heavens are closer than you think. The angels are nearer than your own breath. And Archangel Michael stands guard, making sure that no shadow has the final word over your destiny. So lift your head, breathe again. The unseen realm is already moving in your favor. There are moments when the silence feels heavy, as if the whole world has turned its back and you are left standing alone. But in that silence, something sacred begins to move. A whisper not from outside, but from deep within your soul. A reminder that you were never abandoned, that even in the darkest hour the light has been watching over you. Pause. The truth is, every shadow you face is not here to destroy you. It is here to reveal the strength that was already within you. The pain was never the end of your story. It was the doorway into a new chapter, one that only you can step into. And while fear tells you to stop, hope tells you to rise, faith tells you to take that next step, and love tells you that you are already enough, because you have always been guided, always been carried, always been chosen. There is a deeper reason why your soul feels restless in this season. It is not random, it is not ordinary. Your spirit is being summoned toward higher awareness. Pause for a moment. Breathe. And recognize that this calling is not meant to overwhelm you, but to awaken you. Every thought, every dream, every sign appearing around you is part of a divine map. Archangel Michael is aligning circumstances to prepare you for a breakthrough that will come suddenly, almost like lightning piercing through a dark sky. But understand this. Before the light fully arrives, shadows always try to cover the path. This is why you may feel surrounded by confusion, delays, or even people who seem to resist your progress. It is the energy of resistance, a final attempt by lower vibrations to stop you from moving into your destiny. Do not give in, do not surrender your power, because the moment you stand firm, the moment you declare with unshakable faith, everything begins to shift in your favor. Archangel Michael whispers that protection is already wrapped around you. The attacks cannot penetrate beyond the shield of divine fire that has been set before you. But your faith is the key that unlocks this shield. Every time you doubt, cracks appear. Every time you believe, the shield glows brighter. So hear this now. Strengthen your faith, feed your spirit, and walk with confidence. Because what is written for you cannot be erased by human hands, nor can it be stolen by spiritual forces. Pause. Let this sink deep into your heart. You are not standing on fragile ground. You are standing on sacred territory. The very ground beneath your feet has been blessed to carry you forward. And soon the very obstacles standing before you will crumble like dust in the wind. There are moments in life when everything feels silent, when the noise of the world fades and only the beating of your heart remains. That silence is not emptiness, it is an invitation to step into the place where heaven whispers and your soul remembers who you are. You are not just flesh and bone. You are spirit, light, and purpose woven into existence. And the very moment you doubt yourself, the heavens send a reminder, sometimes through signs, sometimes through dreams, sometimes through the voice you hear right now. Imagine the weight you carry on your shoulders suddenly being lifted, not because the problems disappear in an instant, but because you realize you are not carrying them alone. Every burden you thought was yours has already been seen, already been accounted for, already been balanced by forces greater than you can imagine. And in this moment, those forces are aligning for you. Think of the times you almost gave up, the nights when you cried silently, when no one heard you, when you thought the world would not notice if you were gone. But you were noticed. You were protected. Something stopped you from falling too deep. Something kept you breathing, kept you moving, kept you alive long enough to hear this message right now. That something was not chance. It was presence. It was guidance. It was the unseen hand of heaven reaching out so you could rise again. Now, imagine for a moment that you are standing on the edge of a cliff. Behind you is the pain of the past, the regrets, the fears, the mistakes. In front of you is a valley filled with light, a horizon that glows with promise, with healing, with freedom. You cannot stand in both places. You must choose. And this is the call, that you no longer live chained to what once broke you, but that you step forward into what is waiting for you. This is why the message is urgent, not because time is against you, but because your soul is ready now. And when your soul is ready, delay only creates suffering. You already feel it inside, this pull, this awakening, this gentle but undeniable force telling you, this is your moment. And you are right, it is. Look within yourself and see the strength that has always been there. You are not weak because you cried. You are not broken because you were hurt. You are not lost because you wandered. You are human. And being human means carrying both shadow and light, both despair and hope, both pain and possibility. But now you are being asked to choose the light. Do you know why? Because your pain has already served its purpose. It taught you. It shaped you. It carved into you the depth of compassion and the ability to see others more clearly. Your scars are not chains. They are maps. Maps that lead you to the treasure of wisdom hidden within you. And now it is time to use them. Every step you take into awareness becomes a shield. Every breath you take in faith becomes a weapon. And every yes you whisper to hope becomes a declaration of victory over fear. You may not feel like a warrior, but the truth is you have already fought battles no one else knows about. And you are still here. Still standing, still breathing. That alone makes you stronger than you realize. Think of the people who came before you, those who carried their burdens in silence, those who prayed for strength but never saw the answers with their eyes. You are their answer. You are the dream of those who held on, hoping one day someone in their bloodline would rise and break free. That someone is you, and you do not walk alone. When the shadows of doubt whisper that you are too small, too broken, too weak, remember the wings of light surrounding you even now. Remember the sword blazing brighter than the sun, cutting through every darkness that dares touch your life. Remember that you are seen, known, and loved beyond measure. Even when you cannot feel it, even when you do not believe it, it is still true. And that truth is unshakable. So breathe deeply right now. Let your chest rise and fall slowly. Let yourself feel the air as more than oxygen, as spirit, as life, as a reminder that each breath is proof that your purpose is not finished. You were chosen for this time, for this season, for this very moment in history. Do not waste it. Do not run from it. Stand in it. Own it. Live it. For there will be days ahead when challenges return. Life will not suddenly become easy, but you will be different, because you will know that you are not standing in weakness anymore. You are standing in awareness, in faith, in the strength of something greater than yourself. And once you stand there, nothing, no darkness, no fear, no enemy, can ever truly defeat you. Your future is not written in the failures of your past. Your future is written in the courage you choose today. And every choice you make from this moment forward echoes across eternity, so choose hope. Choose light. Choose to believe that the story of your life is only beginning. Because it is, and the best is yet to come. The night carries an unusual stillness, as if the heavens themselves are waiting for something to be revealed. You can almost sense a subtle vibration in the air, a gentle hum that isn't heard with the ears, but felt deep within the soul. This is the moment when the veil between the seen and unseen begins to thin, when whispers of the divine gently reach out to those willing to listen. Archangel Michael does not arrive with noise or thunder in this moment, but with a calm authority that shifts the very energy around you. His presence is like standing before a vast ocean of light, endless, powerful, and yet so profoundly peaceful. When he comes closer, your spirit recognizes him even before your mind does. It feels like remembering something ancient, a truth carried within your soul long before this lifetime. You may notice your heart beating differently, not in fear, but in an awakening rhythm, as though it aligns itself with the pulse of creation itself. Michael speaks not always in words, but in impressions that fill your mind like sudden clarity. He shows you moments of your life, moments where you doubted your own worth, moments where shadows tried to convince you that you were alone. But as he reveals these scenes, a radiant light dissolves every fragment of darkness. He reminds you that not once, not for a single breath, have you ever been abandoned. There is a reason you are hearing this now, a reason your soul is restless, searching for answers beyond the ordinary. You are being reminded of your mission, the sacred work you agreed to long before your birth. It may not look like what the world calls greatness, but in the eyes of heaven, every act of love, every stand for truth, every refusal to bow to fear is greatness itself. Michael presses this truth into your heart like a seal of fire that can never be erased. He shows you visions of the path ahead, not to frighten but to prepare. There will be moments where shadows rise again, where fear will whisper loudly, trying to convince you to step back into silence. But this time will be different. This time you will remember the warrior of light standing beside you. This time you will feel the sword of truth burning in your own spirit. This time darkness will not be able to hold you. A stillness fills the space again, as though heaven is allowing these revelations to sink deep into your being. And then, with a gentle force, Michael draws near and places what feels like an armor of light around you. It is not heavy, it does not restrain you, but it strengthens every part of you that once felt fragile. The armor is not built of metal, but of faith, clarity, and divine strength. Your doubts cannot penetrate it. Your fears cannot shatter it. Your past cannot stain it. You are being clothed in remembrance of who you truly are. And in this moment of empowerment, there is also a call for you to rise into the fullness of your light. Not tomorrow, not someday when everything feels perfect, but now. Because the world is waiting for your voice, your courage, your presence to break chains of fear in places you cannot yet see. If your soul feels a stirring as these words flow into you, do not ignore it. It is not coincidence. It is not imagination. It is confirmation. Archangel Michael has guided you here for a reason. You are not just listening. You are being chosen, reminded, and awakened to the power that already lives within you. The light around you intensifies once more, and you realize something extraordinary. You're not just standing before Archangel Michael. You're standing within his protection, within the circle of fire that no darkness can breach. This circle is not temporary. It remains with you, a constant shield wherever you go. From this moment forward, no shadow can approach without first confronting the brilliance of heaven's light. And that light now burns within you. Your journey continues, but you no longer walk it as the same person who entered this message. Something has shifted. Something has awakened. The angel's presence may not always be visible to your eyes, but it is forever imprinted in your spirit. And when you begin to doubt again, as humans sometimes do, You will feel that familiar pulse of divine energy within you, reminding you of tonight, reminding you of this truth. You are guided. You are protected. You are never alone. There are moments when the world feels unbearably heavy. You might sense invisible chains holding you down, as though every step forward is resisted by a force you cannot see. This is not your imagination. This is the silent weight of spiritual interference. It often arrives unnoticed. A delay here, a sudden argument there, an unexpected fear creeping into your mind when everything seemed calm. These fragments, when pieced together, reveal that something is attempting to dim your light. Yet in the heart of this shadow, there exists a sacred truth. No darkness, no curse, no manipulation can truly overpower the soul that awakens to its own divine authority. The battle is fierce only until you remember who you are. Your spirit is not fragile. It carries the spark of eternity. And this spark, when ignited, summons the guardianship of higher realms. Pause for a moment and consider this. Have you ever narrowly avoided disaster without fully understanding how? A sudden intuition told you to wait before crossing, and a car rushed past. An uneasy feeling made you cancel a plan, and later you discovered chaos unfolded at the very place you were meant to go. These are not coincidences, they are interventions, signals that you are being guided and shielded, even when you do not ask. But now, the guidance grows stronger, because the storm you are stepping through requires your full attention. This is no longer about small warnings. This is about the reawakening of your divine armor. The air around you is shifting. Even now, as you listen, subtle energies are aligning. It feels as though an unseen current is pulling you forward, nudging you toward clarity. Do not resist it. You may notice the atmosphere in your room changing, the temperature altering slightly, the weight of the silence thickening. These are signs of presence, the guardians drawing near. Close your eyes and imagine a circle of light forming around you. At first, faint like mist, but growing stronger with every breath. This is your sanctuary. No curse, no malice, no hidden spell can penetrate what has been placed here for you. The ancient forces of protection are older than any practice of darkness. They existed long before fear was crafted, and they will endure long after fear dissolves. You are standing in the lineage of this eternal shield. But there is something else you must understand. Not every battle is external. Some of the most dangerous conflicts are fought within the mind. Whispers of self-doubt, echoes of failure, memories replaying mistakes until you feel imprisoned by your own history. This too is a weapon, one designed to weaken you before the true strike is made. Yet here lies the paradox. The very place where you feel weakest is the place where your greatest awakening can unfold. Because when you confront the shadows within, you discover that they dissolve like smoke before the light of awareness. Imagine yourself walking through a dark corridor. Each step forward reveals hidden doors, locked tight. You have always assumed they conceal danger, but now, as you place your hand upon one, you realize the locks were never meant to keep something in. They were meant to keep you out of your own hidden power. The moment you turn the key, a surge of strength floods through you. You feel lighter, brighter, more alive. This is the journey you are stepping into now. A passage not just of protection, but of claiming the parts of yourself that have long been buried under fear and manipulation. Even as you listen, subtle awakenings are happening within you. Your breath feels deeper, your heartbeat steadier, your mind quieter. This is not an accident, it is alignment. And so, listen carefully. Because the message being delivered to you now is urgent. You cannot wait for a better moment. You cannot tell yourself you are unworthy. The calling is already upon you. You are meant to rise. You are meant to step into the shield prepared for you since the beginning of time. You are meant to remember that you are never truly alone. Even now, ancient eyes are watching over you, not with judgment, but with fierce devotion, not with distance, but with immediacy. The energy surrounding you is not passive, it is alive. It is responding to your awareness. The more you open, the stronger it grows. The more you resist, the heavier the shadows feel. And so, surrender. Not to the darkness, not to the chains, but to the luminous presence that has always been waiting for you. When you do, something extraordinary happens. The interference begins to unravel. One by one, the threads of fear, doubt, and manipulation snap apart, like old cords finally breaking under the weight of light. You may even feel this release in your body, a heaviness leaving your shoulders, a pressure dissolving from your chest, a quietness settling in your mind where chaos once ruled. This is the purification, the cleansing of energies that were never yours to carry. Do not be surprised if you feel emotions rising suddenly. Tears may come without warning. Laughter may burst forth unexpectedly. These are all signs that the barriers are lifting. The river of your spirit is flowing freely again, and as it flows, clarity returns. You begin to see where your path has been obstructed, where illusions tried to trick you. But instead of fear, you feel calm. Instead of confusion, you feel direction. This is the shift, the point where the unseen battle turns in your favor. The moment you reclaim your space in the world as a bearer of light, not a victim of shadow. Remember this. Protection is not just something that comes from outside. It is something that awakens within. And when the two merge, the guardians surrounding you and the fire rising inside you, nothing can overcome you. Take this truth with you now. Let it settle deep into your spirit, because the days ahead may still bring trials, but you will walk through them differently, with confidence, with guidance, with the unshakable knowledge that no curse has authority over the eternal spark that you carry. This is the beginning of your liberation, and it is happening now. There are moments in life when you feel an unexplained pull, a sudden urge to stop, to listen, to pay attention. This pull is not random. It is the invisible touch of divine energy guiding you toward awareness. Archangel Michael reminds you today, when these moments arise, do not dismiss them as coincidence. They are subtle signs, messages planted like seeds in your path, waiting to bloom. Often when you feel lost, the mind becomes loud. Thoughts rush in like waves, one crashing after another. But in the midst of that noise, there is always a pause, a small stillness that calls for your attention. That stillness is sacred. It is the moment when Archangel Michael can speak to you most clearly. Listen carefully. In that silence, he whispers reassurance, protection, and clarity. He is not far, never distant. He is closer than your breath, closer than your heartbeat. But here is the mystery. The human heart, burdened with doubts and fear, often resists divine guidance. It searches outside for answers, chasing shadows and illusions. Yet the truth has always been within, the voice of the divine echoing inside your soul. Michael urges you, stop searching in places of confusion. Look within, and you will discover that the divine has never abandoned you. Have you noticed how certain patterns repeat in your life? Certain challenges, certain people, certain struggles? These are not punishments. They are lessons carved into your journey, so your spirit may grow stronger. Every obstacle that rises before you carries two faces. One face whispers fear, the other face whispers growth. Michael's sword of light cuts through the illusion of fear, revealing the hidden blessing that lies within every hardship. When your nights feel heavy, when you lie awake staring at the ceiling, wondering why things are not moving forward, Archangel Michael is there. He sits by your side, not always in visible form, but as a radiant presence that wraps you in calm. If you close your eyes and breathe, you will feel it. A subtle warmth, a light pressing gently against the darkness. That is his shield of protection. That is the proof you are never truly alone. There are realms beyond the human eye, places where energy flows freely, where light battles shadow in silence. Michael walks in those realms on your behalf. When unseen forces rise against you, when energies of envy, fear, or darkness try to attach themselves to you, he intervenes. Not every battle you face is visible. Not every victory you achieve is known. Many of your greatest rescues happen in the unseen, where Archangel Michael fights silently for your soul. And yet, he asks something simple in return. He asks for your faith. Not faith in rituals. Not faith in empty words, but faith in light itself. The light of truth, the light of courage, the light of love that cannot be broken by shadows. When you hold on to this light, you make his work easier. You become a vessel of divine strength, a carrier of hope in a world that often forgets hope exists. Remember this: the enemy of your spirit is not always outside. Sometimes, the enemy hides within, in the form of self-doubt, anger, guilt, or regret. Michael warns you not to feed these shadows. Do not let them grow roots inside your soul, for they will drain your strength, distract your focus, and make you forget your divine worth. Instead, release them, lay them down, offer them into the fire of transformation. Every time you let go of fear, a new door opens. Every time you choose courage, a new path shines with light. And here is the greatest secret: the path is already written. Your destiny is already woven into the divine fabric. You are not wandering aimlessly. You are moving through a carefully designed journey, and Archangel Michael walks beside you at every turn. Even when you feel abandoned, you are not. Even when you cry out and hear no answer, the answer is there. It simply arrives in silence, waiting for the right moment to reveal itself. Michael says, "Patience is not weakness, it is strength disguised. For in waiting, your soul is prepared, your faith is sharpened, and your blessings are multiplied." So the question now is, are you ready to trust the divine timing? Are you willing to believe that what you seek is already on its way, even if the path looks empty right now? Because here is the truth: the universe does not delay, it prepares. What looks like silence is preparation. What looks like waiting is alignment. And when the moment arrives, the doors will open so quickly you will understand why the wait was necessary. Michael places this reminder in your heart today: do not fear the unknown. Do not fear what you cannot control, for the unknown is where miracles live. The uncontrollable is where divine intervention moves. Your task is simple: walk in faith, hold on to light, and remember that your story is not written by shadows, but by the hand of God Himself. Now pause for a moment, breathe deeply, feel the weight of this message. Something within you has stirred, a recognition, a reminder, a knowing. That stirring is the sign you needed. That stirring is proof that this message was meant for you in this very moment, not by accident, but by divine design. And as you walk forward, you will notice small confirmations, unexpected alignments, sudden feelings of peace. These are not coincidences. They are proof that Archangel Michael is walking beside you, shield in one hand, sword of light in the other, guiding your steps toward your highest destiny.